God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy love, thy power, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. Good morning, and thank you for joining me on my walk on the beach. That third step prayer is a good one to learn. It's something that I can practice every single day. The practice of the third step is a very freeing practice because that means that I can step out of the way and just allow God to run the show. I don't have to be in charge of anything. That relieves me of a lot of responsibility, to be honest with you. And us alcoholics, we're not the best at responsibility. You know, yes, it's a wonderful prayer, and there are other prayers in the big book that you can recite and learn and that sort of thing. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about was how you pray. Does every one of your prayers have to come out of a book? Is it always something that is written in like Old English with a lot of thous and thees and you know, that sort of thing? I'm kind of funny about that. I was raised in a religion that, you know, that used the King James Version of the Bible and only the King James Version of the Bible. And that when you spoke to God, you should use King James Version language. And I just never could get used to that. That's not how I talk, you know? If I'm going to regularly be speaking to this power greater than myself, I don't want to sound like I'm, you know, out of the King James era. I mean, come on, you know. I think if I were to speak to God the way I'm speaking to you right now, I'm sure He would understand what I'm saying. Would He take that as having a lack of humility? I don't know. Is that a way of humbling myself to have my prayers heard, to speak in King James Version language? I don't agree with that. I want a relationship with this power greater than myself, and that's why I practice step 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him. And again, how do you improve your conscious contact with anyone? It's through communication. And how do you communicate with God? Through prayer and meditation. You know, I don't want to get into this too much because sometimes it's just splitting hairs. Am I communicating with God if I'm talking to Him like I'm talking to you right now? You know, hey, good morning, God. Thank you for giving me a wonderful day. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for keeping me sober. Please watch over me and my friends and family today. You know, whatever. And then end with, your will, not mine, be done. I think He understands that. A relationship that I have with the God of my understanding, He's my best friend. And my best friend doesn't need to hear me, you know, stumbling over old world language. It just, so anyway, that, you know, again, that's splitting hairs. I think the main thing is the communication is there. No matter how you speak, you know. What if you don't speak English? Is God going to understand? I think so. I think He speaks all languages, doesn't He? You know, it's funny how we tend to place limitations on God. And he has no limitations. He's the one that sets the limitations. I tell you, I sure am grateful. I just have so many things to be thankful for. You know, I talk about how this program has saved my life. And it really, really and truly has saved my life. I was dying. And in many ways, I was already dead. This thing brought me back to life. And so my gratitude level is very high. I am not the same man who came into Alcoholics Anonymous. What you're looking at now is the new and improved version of Earl. I was not someone that you wanted to associate with. I just wasn't. And that landed me in jails, treatment centers, detox, you name it. It was not a good life. Today I live a life that I am happy with and I'm proud of. I'm proud of my behavior today. I certainly couldn't say that before. I was not proud at all of my behavior. Which is why I wasn't communicating with family and things like that. I was isolating because I knew how I felt about the way I was acting. But how they felt, I didn't even want to know how they felt. And so I would isolate. The program of Alcoholics Anonymous has taken away all of that self-doubt, all of that self-pity, all of that self-loathing. It's all gone. It's all gone. And it's because I've had that spiritual awakening that has changed everything in my life. It's funny because it really hasn't changed anything outside of me. It's changed everything inside me. I'm very pleased with the outcome of recovery. It's been a wonderful experience, and I would be so happy to hear about your stories. You know, just a little bit. Do you feel like AA has saved your life? Are you happy with who you've become after taking the 12 steps? These are success stories that people need to hear. Those who are still struggling and haven't found recovery yet, they need to hear about it. So I've been asked to speak at a speaker meeting on Thursday night. And that got me to thinking, you know, this is one of those speaker meetings where I don't have the entire hour to tell my story. There are two speakers, and I'll have about 20 minutes to tell my story. So it'll have to be a shrunk down, abridged version of my story. I don't think I've ever tried to tell my story in 20 minutes. But it got me to thinking that maybe what I should do is share my story on this platform. I mean, you guys know a lot about me. You've heard me talk about my past and, you know, what a change has taken place because of recovery, the transformation. But I haven't given you guys a detailed version of my story, and maybe I should. You know, like I've said in the past, this is all about helping other people to find recovery, get recovery, and enjoy recovery, because it's an enjoyable experience. And you know, the funny thing is a lot of the enjoyment that I get out of recovery is being able to help another person. And so sharing my story for 20 minutes at an AA meeting here locally is fantastic. But gosh, I mean, I have this platform where I can share my story, and I don't have to give it the abridged version. I can give it the detailed version. And if you guys get tired of it, you just click stop or pause or delete, whatever you want. I'm thinking seriously about making a video of my story, a version of what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. So keep your eyes open for that. That'll be soon, I guess. It needs to be done. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye.